Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. Boy, we're moving on with the tapping pattern series. This is tapping pattern 6. I love the feedback I've been getting. Thank you guys so very much. It is, I think, a way for me to show you tapping techniques, but not in such a monotonous, boring, repetitive way, but I'm actually having you create some kind of music with it so that at the same time you're developing the technique, you're playing music and it's fun to listen to, and the people that you share a domain with don't get so nutty hearing you do these boring exercises over and over again. Anyway, I like doing it this way, so sue me. Don't sue me. Don't sue me. Done. Okay, so tapping pattern 6. This is chordal harp technique. Chordal harp technique, because it sounds kind of like the way harp players will play, and we're outlining a chord, hence the name. So to get this started, you're going to want to kind of outline a root 5th major 9 in E. So I'm using the E on the 7th fret of the A string, and I'm going to hold that down. This hand, once we hold the note down, we don't lift it ever. And then with my middle finger, this might be a stretch for some of you, but you can do it. You hold down the B on the 9th fret on the D string, and then the F sharp with your pinky on the 11th fret of the G string, and you get this chord. It's pretty. But we're not going to play it that way. What we're going to do is we're going to generate all the tones by tapping and pulling off with the right hand and leaving these almost like a capo that we're holding down the chord. We're going to go up to the 14th fret on the same string, the A string, same string that I'm holding down this E note. And I'm going to tap on the 14th fret, which is a B, and I pull off to the E. So that's basically the 5th to the root. Then I go to the 14th fret on the D string, the E, which obviously is the tonic, pulled off to the B. So I kind of did this interesting thing where I'm playing B, E, E, B. So it sounds like this. I'm sorry. Now to keep going, we're going to go up to the B on the 16th fret and pull off to the F sharp, which gives us the 9. And then I come back down. So just that much, I'm going to walk up, I'm going to tap the 14th, tap the 14th, tap the 16th, go back to that 14th on the D string, and then I can cycle it. Kind of a neat, and you kind of get that chordal harp sound. This is pretty for like an intro, a drop bridge where you drop the bridge of a song down quietly and you want to outline the chords maybe while someone else plays a melody or a solo over it, or the singer's singing. There's not a lot of attack, which is nice because that really sets this kind of like nice mellow bed. Now the second measure, I start the same way, 14, 14, but I go to 13. Now I've introduced the first the third, which is a major third, the G sharp. So I've now established that it's actually an E major 9 chord. I think technically it'd be best to say E major add 9. Now to make the pattern less repetitive and make it a 2-bar phrase, I just alternate between going up to the 16th and going down to the 13th. I'm showing this with an E major 9 or E major add 9 chord. You can do it with any chord. Just pick out a 3 or 4, if you want to hold down all the notes on the 4-string bass. It's a little trickier with the 5-string and 6-string, but you can tap out. And you're also not stuck with being like as linear as I was playing, because you could actually tap out along any notes. Pick a scale that works with that chord and tap out and create different colors by tapping on different notes of scale, pulling off to this. What's great is it instantly resolves to the chord, because no matter what note you tap on with your right hand, you're pulling off to the chord tones. So it's really easy to just improvise and not lose the chord sound with this technique. Now, when I've used it, I have, of course, not stayed stagnant on one chord. I do like a measure, a half measure on one chord, move my left hand to set up another chord shape, tap throughout that chord, do that. And I'll probably show that in a future tapping pattern video so you guys can practice this. But right now, let's just get what the basic idea behind the chordal harp technique is. and show me what you can do with it. I'd love, man. Just do a quick little cell phone video and email me a copy to dtitus@daletitus.com. I'd love to see how you're using the chordal tapping technique. And maybe I can do a compilation of videos for a future video so you can share what you guys are doing with your brothers and sisters in this family. Awesome. So tapping pattern 6, that's in the books. So another deep dive with a player that you guys might not know about, but coming up through the 80s and 90s, such an amazing, iconic player, was breaking ground before his life was cut too short, very tragically. I'm talking about Randy Coven. Now, it's funny, when I first met him, I was teaching at Musicians Institute, and I accidentally called him Randy Coven, and he's like, no, I'm not a group of witches. And so that's when he just told me it was Randy Coven. Randy has an album called, he had several albums he's recorded, and this one was Sammy Says Ouch. Sammy Says Ouch. And I checked, and you can still actually get it. You can still buy it. And it was, again, when all these techniques were just coming out, people tapping on the bass, people slapping like different styles, not just funk, on the bass, playing classical music on the bass, things like that. Here comes Randy, and he's just thrown a big old hat in the ring. This album has Al Petrelli on guitar, which is amazing. I mean, Al's a phenomenal player. Mark Woods, the violin player. If you guys don't know Mark's, I like to call him the heavy metal violinist, man. This guy plays violin through Marshall stacks and has composed some really cool songs, man. He's so aggressive on the violin, and he did some amazing things with Randy here. A couple cool tracks. So there's some original songs like Strange Cat, very cool tune. Sammy Says Ouch, but there's 2 covers he does that I want to focus on. One is his version of Little Wing. Check out how he represented what Hendrix did with Little Wing. It's so cool. He had a whammy bar on his bass, and he was using it in full effect on that tune. Secondly, he does the jazz standard, the bop standard, A Preuve. And man, it's so cool. And it's so funny because when I first heard this album, I was working on the song just on my personal development. I was already teaching at Musicians Institute, and it was a song that when I was a student kind of kicked my butt. And so I was working on it, and then I hear what he did with it, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I should just go to work at, I don't know, fast food joint. Anyway, Randy and I just actually, like I said, became friends. He would come and do some stuff at the school, and we'd be able to hang out a couple times for dinner, and it was really a joy to get to know him. And I'm very sad that he's no longer making music for us here. Hopefully he's making music somewhere else. But you should check it out. It's definitely important to kind of really dig deep. Don't just go with all the mainstream players, which are phenomenal and have earned their rightful spot on our Mount Rushmore. But dig a little deeper. Who are some of the other pioneers? Who are some of the other guys taking chances? And believe me, at this time, when someone like Randy came out with an album like this, he took a lot of abuse from, and so did Stu Hamm, stuff from traditional players. Oh, that's junk. That's garbage technique, and that's nothing worthwhile there and stuff. They took it on the chin pretty hard, but they stuck to their guns. They stayed true to themselves. They heard music inside. They did whatever they could to get it outside, and they recorded these phenomenal albums. So Sammy Says Ouch by Randy. I always have to think, because I don't want to say Coven, because he told me that's a group of witches and that's not his name. Coven, Randy Coven. All right, guys, really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys always checking out these videos, sharing your thoughts. I love the activity that's going on our Facebook page. So please just get involved. Let me hear your voice. Let me know where you're from. In fact, just in this comment section below, just say, hey, subscribe to the channel, from wherever. It'd be kind of neat. Don't give details. Don't put your address on. That's nuts. That's crazy talk right there. But just let us know, city, state, country, wherever you feel comfortable. I'm in Northern California. And so it'd be great to see kind of how our group players are going. I know we have some South Africans. I know we have some Londoners and some players from the Scandinavian countries. So I just want to see that be extended more. And you can help by sharing the video. If you dig this video and you thought it could help someone else, find another bass player in your social networks and just share the link with them. Share it on your page. Subscribe to this channel. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom and you'll be subscribed. So you'll be notified if you hit the bell icon every time that I post videos, which is every weekend. I don't think I've missed a weekend since I started this. Definitely excited to have you join as a vocal member. Let me know what's going on in your life. Let me know what videos you'd like me to create. I have a plan, but I love adding it. And I've already done that. People suggested some topics and I've just put them in. I plugged them in. So thank you so much. Thank you for spending time with me. I look forward to growing this community bigger and bigger and getting more voices in front of the camera so you don't just have to see this ugly mug every time. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you at the next video.